And we're back. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast, where this week we will be talking about whatever we bloody well feel like, because we haven't seen each other properly in a while to have a chat. So we're just going to go with what's on our head and what we've been watching.
And already Keith has derped for me.
It's because Keith's got... Oh, he has. His internet's gone down.
Do you know, Melon does strange things to his computer.
Well, it's because he's got... he's got internet based on putting wires... Instead of in the ground, in like big casing where it's nice and safe, they have it running from building to building. So a bird can sit on his set line and that's it, his internet's gone. You think your internet's unstable, Nige? Oh, he's back now. Oh, there he is.
Come on.
Hello.
Focus. Ugh, this.
Can't get his camera.
Anyway, hi. Sorry,
Hello.
my internet decided to give out. It couldn't cope with the excitement.
There's a bird sitting on the wire. That's what you're trying to say.
Possibly. Anyway, how are you doing?
Right. I'm doing good. I've been away on holiday. I've had a great
time.
I haven't.
My wife, you won a boat a couple of weeks ago. My wife surprised me and booked for the last 2 days of our holiday a pool villa, and it was awesome.
Okay.
Lunch brought to us on a floating tray in the pool. Have you ever tried eating pasta in a pool? It's not the easiest of things.
It's not on my bucket list, I'll tell you.
Sit there with a knife and fork on a fucking not the easiest of things.
So, Nige was on a boat. I know that.
Yeah, I did that. That was
You did the boat.
month and a bit ago. I'm well and truly due another holiday now.
Oh yeah.
I've only just got back.
See, I got back. I had jet lag all week. My sleep pattern was broken. Just miserable because I can't do anything fun. Because I've been so much fun on holiday and then I'm back to work.
I was extremely jealous of you. Some of the things that you did. And so, I mean, I tell you what, right? Disney was cool. Seeing the Millennium Falcon was really cool. But actually, going to NASA was the thing that I was like, you bastard.
Yes.
It's like, I'm extremely jealous. But,
yes, Chuck, I was in the USA and I enjoyed myself. I was planning on doing some shooting, but because I'm British, they wouldn't give me a gun because they're worried I'd take the country back. They said it'll be 1812 all over again. And I went, all right, fair enough. I did break the high score on Buzz Lightyear in Disney. I broke the score. It was fantastic. It's like it just maxed it out, and it's like I can't do anymore. Like yes,
it's like a video game kind of thing.
It's like you sit on a little thing, and you've got this little fixed gun, and you just shoot these little Zeds, and then you score from those Zeds. And I broke it. Fabulous. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it. Yeah, so it's one of those things. Everybody, no, not everyone carries a gun in Florida.
The tourists don't.
Tourists don't. And I'm not joking. There was an abundance of British tourists there. There were so many British tourists there. I was playing Spot the Brit, and it was like pasty white person. He's gone again. He's gone again.
You said Spot the Brit, so he fucks off.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh my God, we've got two of him.
There's four of them. Two of them. Sorry, there's four of us. What are you doing, Keith?
My computer's having a mental breakdown. Don't worry about it.
It's a simple operation. Share video camera and audio.
Apparently not today. So
Okay.
I think my computer's still on holiday.
My computer is pretty ancient compared to your brand new Mac.
Yeah,
and it does.
Nigel's a potato. He's literally got a potato under his desk. Yeah,
mine's a fried potato.
And the only way I could speed that potato up was installing an SSD.
Yeah,
it does work.
Not worth upgrading.
It does work.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars like park thing, whatever they call it,
Galaxy's Edge.
What was it like?
Okay, so I filmed it as I was going in there, which was good. So I not filmed it. I video called you while I was walking in there, because I was sending videos to Nigel each day, and I thought, well, I know that I sent you a message saying Sunday, because I didn't know what the time was. Be awake, and I went in there and I saw it, and it's still not as good as the Harry Potter play. It's the Harry Potter bit of theming. It's good. It's the second best bit of theming. It's got some good bits in there. The Millennium Falcon is probably the showpiece. It's got a newer X-wing in there, which I wish they would have just gone for Tatooine and had done with it and kept all the kind of classic stuff. And that's probably my biggest gripe about it, is the fact that you should have just gone for what everyone knows and what everyone likes. That's what you spent all that money on. Yeah, you think you might have spent that money on the newer stuff. It's like, no. It's the old stuff that brings back the nostalgia. That's the thing that brings everything back.
If I think of Star Wars, I think of Tatooine or a Death Star.
Yes.
Honestly. They're the two things that sort of stand out, mainly because of the travel down the canyon and shoot down the thingy. Because of that, Death Star. So the theming should have been something like that. But
although it's First Order, when that second ride where you arrive in the sort of fighter bay of that ship, it looks really cool on video. Is it really cool in real life?
It is. The problem is it's technically the worst ride in the park, because it keeps breaking down, and it goes down not for 5-10 minutes like most rides do, where someone somewhere's resetting something or turning it off and on again. It goes down and it stays down. And it's the most frustrating thing, because we went on there and we were going to go on there at other times, but we kept on looking, and Tanner's like, it's broken. And it's like, all right, fair enough. We'll skip over it. And it was frustrating, because it's the theming, and it's really good. The theming.
Did you do the ride in the end? Did you do the ride?
Oh, he did it. Did it the first day we were there.
And is it good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So yes, it is. It is good.
Is it kind of like the Transformers ride in Universal, where you're going around?
No, it's more like the Ratatouille ride. It's not got the Transformers bit where it's kind of it's like a flat track, what they call a trackless cart system, where they put you in this little cart thing and it zooms you around like the destroyer thing.
I wish we were vlogging when we went to Universal Studios, because I mean they've got the Transformers ride at the one in Singapore. And I don't know if it's the same as the one in Florida, but like you swing around and an Optimus Prime pops up, right? And then my wife just made the funniest. She just went, "Oh, hello!" I would never forget it. It was just this really sort of low key. Oh, hello. It still makes me laugh.
Do you come here often?
It still makes me giggle.
It's weird, because it's if you've gone to Universal, there's a Spider-Man ride, and the Spider-Man ride kind of pips it. And Nigel's been on both the Spider-Man and Transformers ride at Universal.
Oh yeah,
and I think I think Li Ying liked the Transformers one more, but I like the Spider-Man one more, because the problem with the Transformers is that the newer film version of Transformers is that you have no fucking idea what they look like. They're just like a mash of like bits, and it's like, what's this? And you're like, okay, fair enough. And then you kind of carry on from there. I think the other thing too is that one of the most underrated places is probably Pandora.
Yeah.
From Avatar.
That's the one I want to see, because when we went, Gareth, like 6 years ago, they were building it. They're just starting to build it then. And we were looking over, it was near the cafe, the Rainforest Cafe. And it was near there. We go, oh, what's behind there? We found out they were building Pandora. And said, right, definitely, if we come again, we want to see Pandora. And Gareth has told us it's actually good.
It has the best ride in the park, all of Disney. It's the Flight of Passage. We went on that. I think we went on about 6 times. Loved it that much. That
I definitely want to go again. And can I just address something in the chat with Bilfer?
What's that?
Butterbeer.
Yeah.
Butterbeer is amazing at Universal.
You see, I saw
amazing.
Tanith.
We had the Butterbeer here 6 years ago. At
Yeah, the
Universal.
studios. It's not the same.
You come to the UK, they've got a studio tour where they filmed a lot of the films, and it's there, but it's rubbish.
It's diet butterbeer. It's the first thing.
It's sickly sweet at the studio tour, and I remember Tanith, Gareth's wife, posted a picture of butterbeer this time when they were on holiday, and I said, "Is it any good? Is it like, you know?" Because when I went to the studio, it was shockingly sweet, and Tanith's like, "Oh, it's lovely."
No, it's much better in Universal Florida, and it was so good. I remember we were there at Universal. We'd done the train, we'd done the Hogwarts thing, and the Hagrid ride and all that sort of stuff, and the park was closing and we were on our way out, and I made sure that I queued to get butterbeer to take with me on the way out. It was amazing. I said, right. Sorry guys, I need to take it with me.
We'll go back there, but so show you some picture. So this is
that's
part of the ride.
Poe Dameron's
so Poe Dameron's 80% different, so Bad Reboot can take a cut of the merchandise version of an X-Wing, which is the truth. And then you got the, it's not Admiral Akbar, I'm afraid, it's some space.
Is that animatronic? Does he turn?
It's animatronic, yeah. So as you're doing it, he's flying the ship and doing all the thing with the guy in front. So you've got that. So you get into like a little kind of cart thing. So he starts chatting away. You have to excuse me. I have a horrible habit of taking a million pictures and then stripping out the shit ones. So yeah, you got him where he's talking around, and there's me recording a video for Nigel, because every day I recorded a video for Nigel and I sent him what do you call it, like, oh look, here's going to the galaxy, because
it was literally galaxy, right? 3 to 5 seconds of Gareth just standing in front of something going, look, it's Bumblebee. Or
but you did It's a Small World one you sent to the WhatsApp group.
I sent that to you guys because I thought that was funny. It was funny. But yeah, that's like the inside of the thing. They're all they need to have little kind of movements, just like kind of like a slight breathe or something, because you just feel like you're standing near mannequins, which kind of breaks it slightly. Or these two here need to be real people, and because you don't get anyone dressed up as stormtroopers moving through, if that makes any sense.
But we had that, didn't we? When we went, I can't remember which park we went to. But there was a central area and they had a stage where they all walked through, everybody onto it, and they did a thing and then they walked off and we followed them a bit. I remember doing that. I can't remember what park it was. I think we went to see, there was a little theatre with theatre nearby as well. 6 years ago, I can't remember. But they did have it back then.
I haven't charged my battery for my mouse in like ages, and it's died. Fuck! If I can turn it off and on again, because I do have a spare mouse, but I'm out of power for the mouse.
Is it the weird one, or can you charge it whilst?
No, it's the new one where you got the Thunderbolt charger in. So I can't. What fucking idiot puts the mouse charger on the bottom so you can't use it while you're charging it?
There was this face guy that left. That was
Steve Cook.
I don't know. Steve Cook.
Ives.
I don't know his name.
It was a Johnny Ives design. Yeah, it is.
That might explain why all the designs for Apple products look really fucking basic now. Because they all look a bit like I would have designed them, which isn't a good thing. I'm going to go quickly pop this on charge. I'll be back in a second, and I'm going to try and figure out, because I've got a spare mouse, which should be connected. Hang on. There's because it should. This should work as a backup mouse, because it has 2 buttons and a wheel, which is better than this thing. That's not. Give me a second. I'll be back.
Well, you join us here live on IT support help for Gareth's PC, where he buys a Mac by mistake, expecting it to be good. But all he has is issues.
Apart from this having a mental breakdown today, it is actually the best Mac I've had in years. I will give it that.
Keith, it's never bloody worked on a stream, mate. How can it be the best Mac you've had in years?
Because
Your last one was terrible. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Your last
yeah,
one
yeah.
was
But this
terrible.
thing,
That's all it is.
well, when I did
Well, if
the
you compare
Well-
this one to the previous one, this one is shit, but it's not as shit as the previous one, which was even shitter.
Well, no, I'll give it. That last video I stuck out on my YouTube channel. I decided to follow some advice of turning off background rendering in Final Cut because
And blurring your
Fuck,
face? Did you follow that advice?
and
Keith,
it
do
rendered
me a
that
favour?
video
Can
in
you-
under 2 minutes. Go on.
Can you do me a favour? Can you can you switch the screen for me? Or have you got no option for that?
What do you mean switch the screen? As in turn off your share like that?
Yes, that's it. Thank you. It's all right. We'd been stuck with that picture. I'll wait a bit and I'll go back and show you some of these things. Yeah, but the ride broke down. But going back to Rise of the Resistance, it puts you on a little trackless kart system. You kind of zoom around the inside of a Star Destroyer, getting chased by Kylo Ren. I can remember his name now. I was going to call him fucking Kyle something. Kyle McLaughlin. You were getting chased by Twin Peaks Kyle McLaughlin.
Emo something, Emo Ren.
Yeah.
I'm-
And that was good. There's a great bit with a lift in it, all right? Not because I work for a lift company, all right? But it has these. There's 4 of you on the track at the same time, so you get zoomed into these corners next to the AT-ATs, yeah. And I always love it because people write. You see the AT-AT. Because how do you say that? You say AT-AT. Okay. And then they say AT-ST, and they go, how do you say that? Chicken Walker. All right, that's the answer. Anyway, while you're in the bay with the AT-ATs, it kind of flings you to the side and you get shot up. Why have they got AT-ATs and not the fucking Gorilla Walkers, by the way? Anyway, you get pushed to the side, shot up, yeah, and then you see people in the AT-AT going, they're escaping, stop them. And you're like, oh no, where is it? And then you're getting zoomed around everything. But as I said, the thing it does that, and then you go to through it, and then it's like you go through the bits where they're firing the guns. And then you escape, and it's great because the escape bit is another lift that drops you down, so you feel like you're falling as you're getting launched out the bottom of the Star Destroyer, which is fantastic. And then you go around it, and everything's fine. It's just the fact that it breaks down so much. That's the problem with it. It just If it didn't break down as much, I'd probably like it more. But if you pull up the app and you look at it, and it's like it's 3 hours and it's broken down, and you're like, well, let's screw that for a game of soldiers. Yeah. And it's like there's other rides in other places. It's like the Velocicoaster in Universal. I'll talk about that because that was fantastic. Chef's kiss. Brilliant roller coaster. But it was annoying. I drank blue milk trying to describe the taste.
I saw that picture.
And it was like, what does it taste like? So I was like, what does it taste like? Because I've got it. It was like icy something, which made me cough. You know when you drink like a milkshake and it makes you cough? It was just doing that all the time. Not as good as Butterbeer. Butterbeer was just... Everyone loves Butterbeer.
I am a
No,
bit
just
jealous
looking
of
at
that.
you.
I am a bit jealous of that. I want to try the proper butterbeer, but
Yeah. You can only
Blue
do it
milk.
at Universal, I think.
yeah.
I would have thought, in the latest film where Ray finds Luke.
Well, there is
he's a
green
little bit
milk, but I
nuts.
refuse to drink green milk because all I see when I see green milk is him squeezing it from the manatee's tit.
Yeah.
And going, I could milk you, girl.
And he looks up, he's got milk around his mouth, and he's going,
Yeah. So I wasn't going to. They do alcoholic blue milk and alcoholic green milk. To which because, right, hang on a second. If you ever go to Universal and one of your relatives says the following, we're at Epcot, we should try drink around the world.
Oh, I saw it. How wasted were you?
I wasn't massively wasted. It's just that I couldn't handle it because of the heat more than anything else.
Yeah.
But because they give like tiny little stingy with their portions. If they gave you a full pint, I'd be fucked. I would have been carted out by security. But because it's small, my wife's like, let's do drink around the world. And I went, I'm not drinking around the world. She goes, fine, I'll do it. So she went and she got drinking like Mexico and all the other places. And then we got to like Germany and stuff. It's like beer, Gareth. I'm not drinking beer. You can have it. So I'm not drinking beer. And then I got to Japan and I got sake. And I think, I think I was going to video call you. And I went, I don't know what the time is. So I recorded Nigel a message going, sake, I don't think I'm going to make it. I was tipsy when I made that message
Sake,
to you.
I don't think I'm going to
not
make
drunk,
it.
but tipsy, and I was just drinking sake in the Japanese pit, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not a drinker, so it's like I can't do this. I used to be when I was 18 and I had the metabolism to handle it, but now I'm old and wrinkly. Doesn't
Oh, I
work as
remember
well.
we used to be drinkers, Gareth.
Yeah,
you're the
I've done
first person that I got so paralytically drunk with, I lost time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a friend of ours called Malcolm. Me and Malcolm drunk ourselves sober. Weirdest sensation. Seriously, you drink fast and heavy, and then and the result of you drinking fast and heavy is you become sober. To which we're like, what the fuck? we were like sitting in my room watching we were watching some film, and we were just necking vodka, and we got through a bottle of vodka and a bottle of Jack Daniels, so 2 bottles, a bottle each. Yeah, in the course of an evening, we were like, maybe I should stop drinking. It's not working anymore. But yeah, if anyone says, "Hey, let's do drinking around the world at Epcot," just say no. My wife found this margarita mango-y slushy. So you got this. Imagine an orange slushy, and it was delicious. I will give you this. It was delicious. And she was like, she had 3 of them while we were on holiday. Every time we were in Epcot, so I need to go to France. Why? Because I want one of those things. Oh, God. So there's me and Dexter just like kind of milling around, just queuing up to get a orange martini slushy. But it had a big slushy machine, but it was full of alcohol and bits. That was novel. At Epcot, they've got the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is really cool. Which I think
that's probably new since I went.
Yeah, it was literally. It's funny because they've got the Tron Light Cycle ride, which they already built in Shanghai, so they know what to do with it and they know the problems with it. It's taken them over 3 years to build this thing, but they managed to get the Guardians of the Galaxy thing in there in under 18 months. Go figure. Really, seriously, it's really good. You go in there, you've got a nice big kind of set, and you've got Glenn Close and big fella. He likes computers. You wouldn't fuck with him. He's in the Expendables, black, bald head. He's secretly a nerd.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Know what you mean. But I know
Jason Statham.
No, not Jason. Jason Statham's not black and American.
Oh,
it might be actually in his next film. But what was his name? I can't use my computer because my mouse won't connect because it's in the other room charging.
I know who you mean, but I don't know his name.
I need to Google the Expendables.
Yeah, Google Expendables. It's great. He comes across as a really nice guy, and he's huge. I think he was an ex-football player, as an American football. He's in it, and
what's his name? I
know who he means, but I can't. I can't.
Anyway, you go into this room. Glenn Close pops out and says, "Hey,
Terry
hello,
Crews.
Everybody." Yes, Terry Crews. Thank you very much.
That's it.
He goes, "Hello, everybody. We've put this thing on, and what we're going to do is we're going to beam you up to our spaceship and take you all the way to Xandar as a trip for humans so we can get on. We've built this cosmic core thing, which allows us to travel between the Milky Way and Andromeda. So, yeah, enjoy it." And then Terry Crews pops up and he kind of speaks to you and he says, "Look, right, I need to go into the next room, stand inside the lit circle room, and then we'll transport you up to thingy." You go into this room, they blast you with like lights, and you lose your night sight, and then they turn the lights up in the room and you're on spaceship. It's really good. First time we did it was fantastic. Second time we did it was fantastic. Third time we did it, there was someone with a mobility cart who left the fucking light on so we could see what was going on. Yeah, which ruined the magic. And then the fourth time we did it, they didn't bother doing it, which was really annoying because it was one of the pre-show things that's really cool. And I enjoyed the crap out of that. And then you get onto the ride, and it's a big celestial who's stolen like the engine part, and you're flying around, and it's great because he takes you up. And we got stuck on it on the third one, but for some reason they've got a thing in there, so if you do get stuck or delayed, it plays this little extra kind of like Easter egg sort of thing. So
that's cool.
It's like you go in there and you see the Guardians of the Galaxy fight the Celestial in the spaceship thing, and then it lines you up and then it shoots you backwards. Yeah. So the thing was the third time we went on it, lined us up, and it goes, and they always said, "Oh my god, we're going back in time like that." Yeah. And then it launches you backwards, and it goes, "We're going back in time," and then you hear Rocket going, "Or we're just sitting in a tunnel." And then it's like, then you hear Groot going, "I am Groot." He goes, "Yes, that," and then you hear Drax going, "Yes, that was a bad situation that we were in." And then it's like, "I am Groot." He goes, "That was even worse." And then it's just going through all these things, and then it goes, "Hang on a second," and then all of a sudden, boom, and then launches you backwards about 60 miles an hour. Really good, really fun, just fun sort of thing. Yes. T-Money, aka Terry Crews. Yeah,
we are going to have to talk about a few things.
yes,
TV wise at some point,
I finished off Lock and Key.
I got the question tonight, Nigel. Nigel, have you seen the Game of Thrones prequel yet? Any of the episodes?
I watched
House of Dragons.
one of them.
What did you think?
Well, it was downright boring.
I thought, well, yeah, put the Matt Smith fucking a woman from behind. It takes some getting used to.
Well, the issue is, I was watching it. The kids gone to bed. My wife's watching her programs on her iPad on the sofa. So I went, just watch House of whatever it is on the TV. I'm watching it. The only time she looks up is at that scene where Matt Smith is having a go from behind, and she looks up and goes, "What the fuck are you watching?" Oh, it's Game of Thrones, love.
It's gone a bit downhill.
The second episode is better. It isn't terrible, and I thought it was going to be. It isn't terrible.
I think possibly I've seen the second one.
Second one's better. I haven't seen the third one yet.
Remind me what happened in the second.
He has a son, so now Queenie daughter isn't well, I think it ended where we don't now know if daughter is in line. He's going to denounce that, and I mean, put it this way, this is from the book that meant that he didn't fucking finish Game of Thrones. So, in one way I begrudge this, but it's not terrible.
This was based on a post-it note on George R.R. Martin's fridge. Yeah,
the production is pretty good.
How's the Dragon idea?
Oh yeah, I did see this one.
I've got to talk about the elephant in the room. Have either of you seen The Rings of Power?
I just
we spoke about this. We spoke about this yesterday because you were going to watch it with the kids, and I am going to watch it when the series is over.
Biffa, you're in the comments. I know that we marginally disagreed. What did you seriously think of it? Before I say anything, I want to know what everybody else thought of it.
Okay, while we're waiting for Biffa to put his comment in, are you watching She-Hulk?
I'm not anymore. I got so that thing the first episode made me really angry. Actually, I mean, to the point that I was just like,
you would like it when you're angry.
Yeah. I begrudgingly watched the second episode. I watched the third episode, and I'm done with it. It's shit.
I saw the first episode of that.
Oh, here you go. You got
but. He saw the for the podcasters. I saw the Rings of Power. I liked it, but I can't argue. I surrender.
Here's the thing. I will say this, right? As a Tolkien nerd, there are moments in this that are pretty awesome, right? The trouble is they haven't got it has the feeling of Star Trek Discovery in the fact that the one thing Discovery is quite good at is going back and finding obscure things in the Star Trek history and putting loads of Easter eggs in. And I will give it to them. They have done their fucking research with Tolkien. They have. There is a lot in there that only Tolkien geeks and nerds would get, right? But they've also not allowed to use certain things, and that's really annoying. The fucking hobbits, not hobbits, are like a bunch of fucking amateur theatre. They look like an amateur theatre troupe. Their accents are terrible, right? Some of the dialogue in it is, I mean, they say okay, which just totally takes you out of it. And Galadriel, because they keep fucking talking like bloody cats when they refer. Galadriel in the first episode refers to Elrond as a politician. That really bugged me. And none of these fucking elves have got long hair. All elves have long hair. It's kind of an elven feature. And the dark-skinned elf, the elf of color, actually pretty, I like him.
That's the thing. Hang on a second. This is the thing I've heard about it. He's pretty good in it, and his relationship with the girls, okay, but it looks like they just want to fuck. It's like the beginning of the porno.
There is that. But the thing that annoys me about it is he has, perfectly trimmed, used a pair of clippers lined hair. Now, where in fucking Middle Earth do they have hair clippers, right? If he'd had long hair, dark long hair, I don't give a shit the color of his skin. Elves of color works for me, Dwarves of color, if you're really into Tolkien, they're based on like Vikings, and therefore, but I completely can see elves of color, right? I'm not bugged about that. I'm more bugged about the short hair. It really pisses me off.
See, what annoyed me about this first episode, Galadriel, the actress.
Yeah. Oh, she's terrible.
She was talking.
She doesn't say it.
But she's like talking through clenched teeth, and she can't really act, and she's just doing that when she's talking. I was like, my God, have some emotion or something. Like, actually show your mouth moving. And she took through clenched teeth. I'm like, why is she talking through clenched teeth? None of her lips are moving while she's talking. She's thinking she's a ventriloquist or something.
Hang on a second. Hold on a second. Does Elrond lean over and goes, are you on your period? Because we do know elves have periods that last years.
I have to say the actor that plays Elrond is pretty good, but he needs long hair.
Hang on, is that the one who he was sort of like sitting on the tree drawing a thing? That's Elrond.
That's Elrond, yes.
Right. Because up until that, I didn't even catch the
first episode is there's too much going on. It's not a good first episode. The second episode is better. The thing is, the beginning of the first episode is quite that shot of the trees. I didn't think we were going to get, because they've got no rights to the Cimmerian, and there's a lot they cut out. Like, Morgoth doesn't destroy those trees on his own. An ancestor of Shelob turns up, and the combined destroyed the trees, which are the trees of light. I really hated the Galadriel being bullied scene at the beginning. It's just there is a lot of
the same with Michael Burnham, didn't they?
Yes,
they literally just lifted Star Trek Discovery.
But there are some things in it, like I mean, I don't know if Bifford knows this, but like the land of men, where you first meet the dwarf, the dwarf of color, and what's her face? Do you know where that is?
I don't know. I haven't got to that bit
Wales.
Yet. It's Mordor. That you get to see Mordor before it becomes Mordor. We are witnessing the creation of Mordor. That is pretty cool, and that is directly lifted from the text that men. It was originally known as the Southlands. Men inhabited it, and basically villages started disappearing because the fucking orcs were tunneling, and you get a glimpse of that, and that was pretty cool. The single orc that they fight in the second thing is quite a powerful orc. That was quite cool. There are moments in here that are brilliant, but a lot of it, but the dialogue is clunky, to say a lot. It is chopped full of modern stuff, and it shouldn't be. Okay. I mean, there's even a bit, right, where you've got 6 dwarves, right? Elves, highly trained, elves that have pinpoint accuracy, right? 5 of these elves couldn't take down a single fucking snow troll, right? In comes Galadriel and matrixes it over, right? But Gareth, get this, right? In a sort of 300-esque moment, when Galadriel slits its throat, blood shines onto the camera screen. So it acts like there's a camera in the room and blood gets spread across the thing. Now, where the fuck did they have cameras in the second age of Middle-earth?
Are you sure there wasn't a guy after the shot who's covered in blood going, cheers, love?
Yeah, I didn't get the
Everyone knows
whole.
that troll blood smells like shit.
I didn't get that whole thing. Like, she's there with the warriors who have been with her for however many years, who are obviously all very skilled, but then they were all like fighting like they're toddlers. She rocks up, does her thing, makes it look like she's amazing, takes it down like so easily, like ridiculously easily. And then the rest of them go, you're a twat, we're out. And all lay down their swords and fuck off without her, sort of thing, because you're walking on your. It's like, I don't understand any of that scene, any of it. It felt absolutely pointless to me.
Oh, it was useless.
What I didn't understand is how they were showing fights at the start, but I didn't get how they managed to defeat Sauron or whatever at the time for it to then have that 79 years of peace or whatever. I didn't really understand that because, well, the storytelling was shit. So I don't understand any of that. But that's really, it sets the scene up for them to set up the watch, that they're watching men, and
there's lots of like wonderful moments in there. So to answer Biffa's question, when the elves are on at this gate overlooking the land, and the I can't remember this, so I'm gonna have to call him the Elf of Colour. The Elf of Colour is on this sort of like castle wall. That fort is the fort thousands of years later that Frodo is taken to after he's attacked by Shelob, because the Southlands, as you see them there, becomes Mordor. So it's pre-Mordor, it's pre-Sauron being... Basically, this series has combined about 5,000 years of the Second Age into like an hour, right? But essentially, Sauron is out and disguised as a man, and we're going to see him. It's not the guy on the fucking boat with Galadriel. I think that guy is going to become the Witch King. I think that's who he's going to become. But anyway,
yeah, what was that whole thing about? Like, it seemed like they were you've done a great thing, we're going to send you off into the never.
She was. Again,
it was a bitch, and they wanted to get rid of her.
Again, unlike, see, again, this is where it differs from Tolkien. She's told to go into the West, right? So, and that's what it is. That's what she does at the end of Lord of the Rings, the film. That's what they're doing. They're going to the next life, if you like. But it was up to the elves when they left Middle-earth. They were never ordered to do it. There were elves, there were Lord elves, and there were elves of power, but it wasn't like a modern, so calling Elrond a politician, there was no such thing. There weren't like elves that were See, this is the other thing. The dialogue of the elves, they feel too human. And again, this is where it differs from Jackson's films. Elves are meant to be ethereal, right? And so when there's that elf having a joke with the Elf of Colour about him wanting to knob a human, that was just totally ridiculous and just not elven at all. But so the dialogue is bad. It's badly written, right? That it is badly written, but it is well researched. But you can see that they are constantly having to dart around what they have the rights to. So it to me, I would have went to the West, no internet, no YouTube, no. But there are brilliant moments in it, and the second episode is better. I'm going to follow this but it's not well written. But the second episode, when they call it Khazad-dûm because Khazad-dûm was Moria. So you see the bit where you see the bridge where Gandalf, was taken down, or you shall not pass. You see that in the second episode as it was when the dwarves were inhabiting it. And at the end of the second episode, they the during the third and during the fourth are overlooking the chest. That's Mithril. So that's their discovery of Mithril, which is pretty cool. You see the beginnings of them building the forge that will eventually forge the Rings of Power. But the guy's got short hair, and it's the guy that played Michael Palin in one of the biopics, who looks very like Michael Palin, but he needs long hair because he's a fucking elf. I have to say it, as much as she is really annoying in the interviews, the wife, even though she doesn't have a beard, and she should have a beard, was pretty good and quite funny, and likable in the series, just not when she's interviewed. But I think it's going to be like Discovery, that we're going to end up hating it, and because Discovery, the first season, you didn't hate it with a passion. We certainly didn't. It was by the second season that we really started hating it with a passion, and I have a feeling this might go the same way. But so far, there have been moments that I've enjoyed, I have to say.
I'm gonna wait until the whole thing's done. That way I can watch it and just fast forward through the bits I don't like. And just go, oh no. I just fast forward and then see what it's like then.
I'll see.
No, I haven't heard anyone who's come back and had a glowing opinion of this. Yeah, it really is. Everyone, I've asked people, and they've gone, yeah, I've watched it. That's it. Hey, Alex, you watched Lord of the Rings? Yeah, I watched it.
Apparently, I read a snippet the other day. Who's the owner of Amazon? Jeff Bezos?
Yes.
His son, when he found out that Amazon are doing it, his son is a fan of Lord of the Rings, and he told his dad, "You better not fuck this up."
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's down to him. However, surely not.
No, because he's too busy.
He's not going to be involved. There's other people involved in it.
The question, my question is that I've heard the following: the production looks fantastic,
looks amazing.
Costumes, everything else looks fantastic. The music is shite. The dialogue is shite.
No, the music isn't shite.
I didn't mind the shite. I didn't mind the music.
The main theme is Howard. The main theme is Howard Shore. Some of the music is shite, not all of it. The elves don't feel like elves. They should be more, apart from when they go into the west. It's the only elven I've heard.
Do you know what? I've got an idea. Right, I'm gonna get the bit with the black elf, yeah, and I'm just gonna put in every time it goes to him. I'm gonna put the 24 hours music, the Axel Foley tune. That as a sting.
I mean,
do you know what?
Far,
he felt more elf.
Yeah, he's the one that everyone said worked out the best so far
of them all, really. Other than Elrond, Elrond is quite is particularly more so in the second episode when he goes to Khazad Dûm / Moria.
Isn't it strange because he felt the most elf, like the way he acted, mannerisms, talked, etc., etc. And the people and he's been away from the city, whatever, looking after humans for 79 years. And the people who are actually in the elf city, whatever that's called, wherever that is, they simply don't feel like it at all. It's
when
a bit weird,
like Californians.
The king looks like an elf, and he is quite elven, but at times his dialogue's a bit clunky. But another cool sort of Easter egg is when he orders Elrond to go visit this amazing elf, this legendary elf. The city that they go to, that you get the shot at the city. That city is the ruined. You see the ruins of that in the Fellowship of the Ring when they are on top of a hill, and you see this ruin, and the birds are coming, and all the hobbits have to hide.
Around the rocks and stuff. Yeah,
that is the same place, which is pretty cool, and that is where the rings were forged. So which Fellowship doesn't really tell you. They kind of mention it in the extended edition, but I think we go. I don't know. I mean, look, the first 2 episodes weren't all bad. It's not $1 billion production though. I mean, it looks amazing, but it's not $1 billion production.
That's the thing. Everyone said it's like, who's laundering money off the back end of this?
Well, yeah, who's getting a
feels like a money laundering operation. Maybe Jeff Bezos did it to keep the money away from his wife.
So I love spending it.
I'm very critical of Mr. Bezos, but if the rumors are true and that he's pushing for Expanse Series 7, which is increasingly looking like we're going to get it, then I can't totally hate him.
Now, Biffa's saying Rings of Power is the best thing on TV now that Better Call Saul is done. I've never seen.
Well, okay. I'll tell you something you may or may not know. The first episode is written by somebody that wrote for season 6 of Better Call Saul, and yet the dialogue in this is a lot worse than in Better Call Saul. Now, Better Call Saul, I've watched it. Did you watch it all, Gareth? I watched it. I caught up. I did a you. Yeah. I waited until it ended, and I watched the whole damn lot of season 6.
Just all I can say is fucking Howard Still's done dirty. Out of everything, out of all the deaths in Better Call Saul, that was the one, along with the kid in Tarantula, are the ones that he was done fucking a disservice. The other thing too, as I've reached the conclusion that Tony Dalton, the guy who plays Laulo, needs to voice all the Spanish announcements on everything and sound slightly sinister as he does it, wherever you go in the world. Because he's fantastic. There's a video of him on the Sony Entertainment channel on YouTube, and he's just showing you how to do tacos. Yeah, and he's great because he makes it sound sinister without doing anything, and he's just you guys are reveling in it. And I hope I see him in more stuff because he was fantastic. The end, it was weird because it was like they always described Saul Goodman as 3 characters, Slip and Jimmy, Better Call Saul, and James McGill. And the whole pulling the heist thing with the guys, the black and white stuff, I started getting on my tits a little. So the thing with pulling the heist, that's Slip and Jimmy, When he gets him into the thingy and he negotiates his sentence down to 7 years, that's Saul Goodman. But when he gets to the courtroom and he sees Kim, he becomes Jimmy McGill, and then 86 years. He's not getting out.
I liked the ending was a slightly more happy one in the fact that everybody in the prison liked him, and it kind of hinted that he was helping his fellow inmates, and in a good way. That scene where Jimmy is
his Spartacus moment on the bus. Oh, sorry.
Well, yes, there's that.
But then on the bus.
That's when it begins. But then there's the moment when Jimmy's working in the kitchen at the end, and Kim comes to visit him. And he's taken out, and all the inmates are, "Hey, Jimmy," and and sort of like fist bumping him and everything. That was kind of good. I thought it was brilliantly done. And giving Kim the guns at the end, that was just a nice little touch. It was well done. It was. I liked the moment, the Walter White cameos. They were pretty well done. They de-aged Aaron Paul well. I liked Aaron Paul and Kim's moment. When after Kim files for the divorce and she walks out and what's his face is there and bums a fag off her. That was pretty good. So
yeah, it was good. It was. I'll be honest with you, it was a fucking happier ending than Breaking Bad.
But Breaking Bad's ending is almost damn perfect.
But it wasn't very happy though, was it?
No, but yes and no. Everything, what's his face got away, and there was a redemption there in the fact that Walter White has to die for his sins, right? I mean, let's face it, he has sinned, right? But he does get that bit of redemption at the end. And then you get the film El Camino, which finishes off what's his face's story, and I mean El Camino is great; it's a brilliant film, and I love the ending to that. So Is it a happy ending? No, it's not a happy ending, but it's a perfect ending. It's a satisfying ending.
Better Call Saul's ending was happier. Because you know that she's going back there to see him because she said, apparently my bar card doesn't have an expiry date on it.
But as you said, Jimmy was 3 characters. And whilst Jimmy was, in those black and white moments, did some pretty despicable fucking things, he again redeems him, but he never deserved. Whereas Walter White went all in bad by the end of it, Jimmy never did. There was always that bit of Jimmy in the background. They even, when he's conning the guy with cancer, and he goes through with the con, there is a moment where he's reluctant. There is that moment where Jimmy tries to come in, but Saul ultimately wins that fight. But at the end, Jimmy redeems himself because he, Saul Goodman gets down to 7 years, but then Jimmy admits it all, gives Trader's wife kind of closure, and at the same time owns up to his thing. So yes, it was going to be happier because Saul didn't deserve to die, whereas Walter White did. So, but Walter White has his redemption, So I think these 2 pieces of television and a movie are near as damn perfect as you can get, right? And let's face it, how many fucking TV series end where we're sad that they end and the ending is terrible? I think he's nailed the ending of both of these series. And that's a rarity these days in any television thing. So I thought I thought it was good. I'm an absolute Tolkien nerd. So for the Rings of Power, there are moments in there that I did enjoy. I'm not going to take a dump on it like a lot of other people, but there is a lot of clunky dialogue. There is a lot wrong with it. There is some terrible fucking writing in it, especially when it comes to the dialogue, and the elves need to be more like elves. Again, there are moments. Khazak Doom, the dwarfs, all of that was very good. I did kind of like the Return of the Jedi moment when Elrond goes up to the door. It's like, let me in, fuck off, basically. And that was good. I think we're going to be going back there because the guy that Elrond brought along is also the guy that forges that makes the gate that we see in the Fellowship of the Rings when they go into Moria. It's made by him.
Right, I don't understand. You're not selling me on this whatsoever. I know you're excited by this, yeah, but to know
I'm not excited.
Right, hang on a second. Right, let me explain. This is Nigel's thing, yeah, right. So imagine this: I'm watching the Fast and Furious film, and they have a spin-off, yeah, and it's about the guy who fits Dom Toretto's tires on his car and how he got those tires. That doesn't sound fucking interesting to me. That sounds really fucking dumb.
The problem is, Gareth, they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. It would have been so much better if they did, right? Because they could have done a lot more there. That opening episode would have been completely different because we would have seen the Elven sort of civil war. We would have seen would have made Galadriel's whole fucking character make more sense, right?
Galadriel's not a warrior, if I remember correctly. Ever.
No, but it is okay. The bit where she does go on the hunt for Sauron, right? Her brother is killed, and the cool thing is, although they don't say it, although they don't say it, her brother is killed by being gnawed to death by a bunch of wolves in Sauron's dungeon.
Yeah, doesn't he rip a werewolf apart?
And what they do include is his arms have got like these things on his arms to show that he was ripped by, and that's a little sort of like nod.
Do you see him fight the werewolves?
No, because they don't have the rights.
Well, that's the fucking interesting bit.
I know. This is the problem. Because
even
they don't have the rights to
watching...
it.
Fuck.
They can't
that's the
use
problem.
it.
You know what? At the moment, I was like, everyone's shitting on the series. I figured I'll wait till the end. I can fast through the boring bits or the bits that irritate me and just get a feel for what's going on. Yeah. And after talking to you, it sounds fucking boring. You've made it sound boring. This is Moria. Because are we going to see it turn to Moria? Because that's like probably 1,000 years in the future. If I've probably got that correct. Because the space of Lord of the Rings is probably over about 3,000-4,000 years. Yeah.
No, but we are going to
we're
see...
not going to see it. We're not going to see it turn into Moria in this one. Yeah.
Well, no, you're going to see Moria in its full glory. You see parts of Moria in its full glory now because Khazad Dûm is Moria, right? But you see, so you see the Khazad Dûm bits because Moria is then expanded out as they find.
Shut up, Keith, because you put me off.
Mate, you may or may look. I'm eager for the third episode because I want to see Numenor, and I'm excited to see the island of Numenor. What annoys me is that as a Tolkien nerd, and I know that anybody that's read the Silmarillion, anybody that's read the appendices to Lord of the Rings, knows that they are skirting around this fucking stupid copyright, that they're not allowed to talk about the elements there, and yet they're doing a second age fucking story, and it's ridiculous because they can't use any of the stuff that made the second age so fucking interesting. That's the problem.
See, for me, I was going to wait patiently and just buy my time because maybe something bigger happens towards the end. Yeah, maybe something is, or maybe it's so catastrophically bad I can lay back and have a good fucking laugh at the thing. Yeah, but
there's one thing I haven't. There's one thing I haven't. I haven't mentioned
on Toretto's tires.
There's one thing I haven't mentioned, and this will be the crux of it, right? There, at the end of the first episode, there's a meteorite that comes down, and in the meteorite is a bearded man. Well, now here's the thing, right? One moment,
Gandalf, but it
shouldn't be Gandalf.
It's the guy who made Gandalf's hat, isn't it? It's the guy who made Gandalf's hat.
It could be Gandalf because at one moment he does. He does this thing. You know how in the Fellowship where Gandalf gets angry with Bilbo and everywhere around him goes dark? You know how he does that? Do not take me for a conjurer of tricks. That happens in this. But you can't recast Gandalf. So I'm hoping it's not Gandalf. I'm hoping it's one of the other wizards.
One of the brown wizards. We've had Radagast. Who's the other one?
There's green wizards. There's Saruman.
No, there was two brown wizards, wasn't there? I remember that because
before Saruman was Saruman the White,
and it's brown. That's how I remembered.
No one has speculated this yet, but it could be Saruman because Saruman didn't start out as Saruman the White, so it could be Saruman. It's probably going to be Gandalf because it's Amazon, and I think they're going to make it to be Gandalf. But I think it'll be far more interesting if it's not. But these bloody fucking hobbits, not hobbits. They are like a bunch of community theatre people. And Lenny Henry's accent, I love you, Lenny, but
I've gone off Lenny Henry. I think he's a twat. He needs some percussive maintenance, I think is the best way to describe being hit around the head a couple of times.
They are like a bunch of community theatre people. The acting is appalling. They're trying to make this Nori character the female Frodo, and it's annoying. So anything when the minute the Harfoots come into it, I kind of switch off. But look, Gareth, unless you are a huge Tolkien geek or you are I don't know if you'll like it or not. I'm excited to see the third episode because I want to see Numenor. I want to see Numenor on film. And Numenor is, if you read the Lord of the Rings books, Numenor, there are seeds of Numenor all the way through. I mean, Aragorn descended from the last of the Numenor. So, I don't, for a Tolkien geek, there are moments that are great.
Can I talk about an irritating book that I went through recently called Dan Simmons' Hyperion? I told Nigel about this yesterday. All right. So it was one of the books. It's like, you should read this. If you like science fiction, you should read this book. Here it goes. It's like the Canterbury Tales, but sci-fi setting. Okay. And I read it, and it's the most irritating thing ever because it's part 1 of 2, but doesn't say part 1 of 2. So I'm getting to the end of the book going, I'm going to get some answers now. What's this fucking Shrike thing? What's going on? What's in the time tombs? And then it's like kind of stops. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I wrote a semi-scathing review on Amazon because I read it and it was just like, no, it's 6 stories and it's all these travelers. So and it's great. You can see the influence that this Hyperion story has had on everything. Yeah. So there's like the security officer in the Orville. Yeah. There's a detective. This is from 1989, who's brought up in a planet with heavy gravity, and she's stronger than most people. Yeah, because of the gravity on her planet. There's the reverse entropy Tenet. Yeah. The whole premise of Tenet is the reverse entropy from the time tombs in Hyperion. It's weird because no one mentioned that, and I was like, "Oh, this is a really interesting idea." And then I went and read the book, and and then we got it from now. You have this thing called the Shrike, which is this all-powerful, scary being that can just literally turn up and fucking turn you into mush. But it's a really entertaining story. And it's one of the things I've recommended you read if you get a chance. But it's kind of split into 6 tales. I'm gonna need to get hold of the next one, which I'll do when I get when I get a chance, because it takes a bit of time to go through these things.
Go on. I will add it to my list because it sounds interesting. I've got a list of books that I'm going through at the moment.
There's like a thing with a group called the Technocore, and they insist that humanity uses this thing called Farcasters, which is like in Mass Effect with the Reapers, where they give you the Mass Effect technology so they can push you down a certain line. So the Technocore, who are this group of AIs who only ever buy one book because they could just copy it across their entire database. They're like the bad guys. It's really good. I don't think I've got long enough to go through it, but it's there's these stories, and you hear this one person who gets hit by one of these reverse entropic wave, and she gets what they refer to as Merlin sickness, where she's aging backwards every day, and she has no memory of the previous day. So she's forgetting, but remembering what she was like when she was a kid. You got one guy who was like a military leader, and he keeps dreaming about this girl. And he's like, he gets to finally meet her on Hyperion, and it turns out it's the fucking evil Shrike creature. Another one where this priest goes to rescue another priest that's been missing out in the wilds for ages, and gets infected with this parasite called the cruciform, and it's great because he's chatting away to these people who are infected with the cruciform, and he says, "You're of the cross," because he's Catholic. He's like, "Yeah, I'm of a cross," but they don't realize he's not talking about the cross. He's talking about this parasite that mutates you and it helps you live forever, but you live in like a really horrible half-life thing. And it's really good. And it got to the end, and I wanted some answers, and I didn't get any. So it's frustrating.
Are you going to read the second book, or?
Oh, I'm going to read the second book when I get a chance. The problem is chance, because I've done Harry Potter up. I finished the Goblet of Fire too. We've been doing a family audio book listen to, so we've gone through the Harry Potter books, and we've got all the way up.
Are you doing the Stephen Fry ones? Yeah.
Yes, but not the Jim Dale ones, because they're stupid. Why would you do that? Because I remember downloading the hooky version of Deathly Hallows before it came out. Well, sorry, when it came out, so I could work out the fuck was going on when the movie happened. And I was told Stephen Fry did the narration, and then Jim Dale was doing the narration. I went, "Oh, Stephen Fry must have skipped the narration for the last one." And no, it's the American narration is Jim Dale, who's from the Carry On films, and the other one is Stephen Fry. Apparently, him and J.K. Rowling had a big falling out, and she kept on using the expression "pocketed" because Stephen Fry would have trouble saying "pocketed." I'm having trouble saying "pocketed," but yeah, it was good. And we need to talk about the Harry Potter films, because we said we'd talk about the Harry Potter films, and we'll go through the Harry Potter films and the difference between them and the books. The first thing is I've got a problem with Deathly Hallows because there's 3 bits that they kind of cut out of Deathly Hallows, which give 3 redemptions to 3 characters. Now, one of them is Creature, which you can skip. The other one is Draco Malfoy. The fight in the courtyard, Draco throws his wand to Harry so he can fight Voldemort, yeah, which is his redemption. And the other one is Dudley. when Dudley turns around and goes,
Yeah.
"I don't think you're a waste of space."
Yes. Yes.
And
Dudley's
those
redemption.
and that
Yeah.
they were cut out. And Dudley's one was filmed, and so was Draco's one, but they cut
Yeah.
both of them out, which was a bit annoying. Because do you want to know why Draco didn't get arrested and his family? He helped Harry Potter and the others, so that's why he didn't get arrested. And the other thing about the prophecy that they were in, is it Order of the Phoenix for the prophecy, or was it Half-Blood Prince for the prophecy? Anyway, the prophecies, it was about Harry, Neville, and Voldemort.
Yes, it could have been
Which,
either.
yeah, no,
could have
it was
been-
3 of them, because one of them needed to kill the final Horcrux off before Harry could finish the actual Voldemort off. But I'm glad they did cut out this character called Winky
Yes.
in Goblet of Fire. Fucking irritating character in the book. It's irritating. I know why they cut him out.
There are moments. We'll do an in depth because, as I said, there are moments in the film, but all in all, I prefer the book Deathly Hallows to the film, and I'll explain why.
It's probably because of a lot of resolutions that weren't in the films.
Yeah.
Which
but it's the fight scene. It's when Harry's entrance into the castle when he announces he's there and taking out, and using the what's his face curse, far more powerful. And saving McGonagall at the same time. That would have been much better with Maggie Smith. That it just would have been better on film. Anyway, we'll go into that. But what was I going to say? I have you watched She-Hulk? Because I said I didn't. I thought it was shit. Are you done with it?
I saw 2 clips of it and I went, I'm not fucking watching that. I am not touching that with a fucking barge pole. And it was the one where she turns around and she says, "Oh, that's because the reason it fixed your arms because I'm better than you." And it's like, kind of, dude, bitch, I saved the universe. What have you done?
It's a real shame because
and then sorry, I'm going to finish this off. And then there was the one where she's like, kind of, I'm angry every day. Right. So let's get this right. Bruce Banner, saw his mother beat to death in front of him, which caused his personality to split. Okay. He's tried committing suicide several times. He's wrecked cities and killed people unwillingly. Yeah. How can I put it? He left the Earth to go and fight in a cosmic arena. Yeah. He then somehow managed to find out how to balance himself off and then save the universe. And you think that you can fucking handle it. And it's like, kind of, it's when I get catcalled in the streets. You don't get catcalled, bitch. You're ugly.
It's a shame because the actress, I really like the actress, and she's extremely talented, and she is. I mean, Orphan Black, she played more than 4 characters, but regularly in any one episode, there were at least 4 characters, all played by her, all convincingly different, that you did not see the same actress. There are not a lot of actors that can do that. She's extremely talented, and yet this is just trash. And it's not about the twerking scene. I don't give a flying fuck about the twerking scene because there's all these fucking wokey wankers going, "Oh, if it was Deadpool twerking, you wouldn't be dissing this." No, it hasn't do it. It's shit.
Deadpool's 18, and if he's twerking, he's probably got a pair of guns in his hands about to shoot someone, and he's doing it to distract.
It's dreadful. It's so bad.
I saw the first episode of that with the kids. And when she got the affliction, the Hulk affliction and whatever, it took her literally, half a day to be able to flip between being Hulk and not Hulk. And she's just saying that she's just better than him. And then she was being better than him at literally every task that he was setting her. And it was like, come on. No, I know for a fact that Hulk can chuck something into space and he's not doing it. So,
and he battered the fuck out of Loki in the Avengers, which was awesome.
The whole thing was set up to show that she can just learn things 1,000 times quicker than he can, that she is 1,000 times better than him. No, why not show a little bit of, I don't know,
growth?
Did your children learn something, to pick up these skills? And there was none of it. She was instantly good. instantly the best, and that
yeah.
put me off. I haven't watched another one since.
Right, can I just ask you something, Nigel? Did your children look up and you go, Father, why are you making us watch this shit?
They wanted to see it. They wanted to watch the first episode. When it finished, I said, "Do you want to watch the next one?" They went, "No." That is telling.
The thing is, if they did it right, sorry, not Keith. If they did it right, what they should do is they should have if you want, you should have the fall and then the redemption. Yeah. So she thinks she's better than Mark Ruffalo. If they do it correctly, that's the setup. She thinks she's better than Mark Ruffalo. She thinks he's got it under control. But what she doesn't understand is his version of the Hulk is not the Hulk. Yeah. And at the end of the series, guess who comes out to play? The Hulk. And then she realizes maybe, just maybe, I made a mistake. Maybe I need help. Maybe I need people to sort this out. That if you were doing that as a story, that's interesting.
The thing with the whole, she's gone back to her life. She's being a solicitor. She's in the court. She's about to give her closing statement, and some random superhero busts in, throwing shit around and all that bullshit. And turns out it was because of a parking ticket. And she was the person who was chucking shit around was meant to be a superhero, not a villain. And you're sitting there going, that just doesn't track. Maybe it should have been somebody who, maybe it would have made sense that a villain was being sentenced in the court next door and being put down, and they've tried escaping and they've bust through them, causing all sorts of and she apprehends that person rather than saving the juror. I mean, the whole thing was just set up for her to get sacked over nothing.
Yeah, and it's really just poor storytelling.
I'm not watching another. I don't think I will.
The toxic white guy in the workplace, it just would not exist today in either America or England, especially in a law firm, because he was a fucking lawsuit waiting to happen, and it's always a white guy. Never any other race. It's always Hollywood. Every time they want to depict somebody like that, it's always a white guy. Racist, not. But
why is it never a woman either?
Yeah, it would have worked better if it was a. It would have worked better if it was a bitchy co-worker who she's in constant competition with, and having because I have seen clips, having the sycophant PA doesn't help. If it was just her and this other person, and they're arguing in front of the boss, and you could have, if you paid your money right, you could have what's the mush from the fucking Matrix be their boss, even though that's technically a gender swapped character, that would have fucking worked. But no, all these opportunities, and it's just a waste. There's a guy who's a former Canadian executive producer who's on YouTube.
Oh, I love him.
Chatto.
I love him.
Yeah,
yes, Chatto. Yeah, I love that guy. I love him. He's brilliant.
And he got to episode 3 and he went, "I'm out."
Yeah,
it doesn't quite work. You got to where you should be, and now it doesn't work. And it's like because he said if you're going to do it as a sitcom, you need to do it as a sitcom. And the thing with sitcoms is the characters don't change; they don't develop. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, he makes really good points. He goes, they don't change.
Hello, denizens. Yeah,
the situation.
He's brilliant.
Yes,
he's fantastic.
He's a great guy to watch.
Yeah, former network executive reaction is what he calls it. Yeah, it's brilliant. He's brilliant.
It's good. Sorry, I was just going to add. It's good to hear someone who was inside the industry with the opinion on everything that's going. Because there's stuff that I disagree with him, but he makes perfect sense of where this comes from. And he's like he described his job as he would go to the producers and the creators of the show, and they go, "We want X, Y, and Z," and he's like, "Okay, fine." And then he'd have instructions come down from the executive board of the network, and they go, "Oh, we want X, Y, and Z." And then he said that he would then lie to the things to the executive. Yeah, we're putting in X, Y, and Z. We'll see if it works out. Yeah, okay, cool. And then it's like they've asked for X, Y, and Z, but we need to make sure that something similar is in there, and we can say that we edited it out. Blah blah blah. And it's doing that balancing act. And I do that in what I do that at work. What you have to go. you can't have everything you want, and you can't have everything you want, but I will try and get you something of what you want, and I will make sure you get what you need, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah,
I do
it's one
that
of
as
those
well.
things.
I do that as well. It's interesting, Nigel, what you said. The kids not wanting to watch the second episode. I don't blame. It's pile of donkey droppings. It's turd.
So I want to before we finish up, I want to set you guys a thing to watch for next week. It's a program called From.
Right.
Is it BBC, firstly?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe it's BBC. If you look it up, TV series called From. Essentially, it's a place, and people randomly find themselves there at this place, and they can't get out. They're driving along a road. They see a tree that's fallen down in front of the road, and so they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll have to turn around and go back the other way." And around the trees, there's magpies or crows or whatever. They turn around, drive, and then they end up in a village, and they go, "Okay, let's ask for directions." And the people there were a bit weird.
That's the League of Gentlemen.
And then they drive off. Well, then they drive off, and they drive down a straight road, and they end back up at the village. They've not turned. No corners. They end back up at the village. Same people, same village. And they're like, this is getting a bit weird. And the people aren't talking to us. Drive again every time. Back in the village. Back in the village. They can't. They're trying different routes. Back in the village. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? They eventually, have to get out of the car because at night, shit goes down. There are monsters out there that will tear your face off and pull you apart if you're out and about at night. You can't survive. And the villagers all sort of hide away in their houses, which they've got talismans to protect them inside their houses. And and these people have been there. Some have been there for ages. And as it progresses, you find out a little bit more about where these people have come from, and if they found themselves in this village from taking the same road, or if it's from across America.
Sounds awfully like Silent Hill.
It's some people. I won't say a huge amount more than that, but that's the premise of it. I think there's 13 episodes, maybe 10. I don't know.
10.
But have a look, have a watch, maybe 3-4 episodes, or whatever. But sometimes it's quite brutal.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll set you that to watch a couple of episodes or more if you fancy.
Hey, Gareth, we got to do it because this is the first time we've had a recommendation from Nige, so it's got to be done. We have to honor this momentous occasion.
It looks reasonably interesting. I will check it out.
You see, the premise is there, and
it's
you know that
cancelled,
everybody, it will.
We get cancelled. We'll watch it. Well, this is really good. We recommend you watch it. It's cancelled.
What you know is these people who live in this, which you find out, these people who are in this village, none of them are local. They've all been through the same shit.
Are you local? It is. It's League of Gentlemen.
Are you local? This one's for local people.
We didn't kill him.
So have a little watch.
No.
It's got.
Where are you watching this, Nige?
It's got a second
it's just
series.
on my Sky. I don't know what channel it's on.
Gareth, it has not been cancelled. It's officially renewed. So,
is it? Because I just checked it out, and it's that the status is to be decided.
No, it's been renewed.
I don't know what TV series UK.
Oh, that won't be any good then, will it?
Episodes now in production. Right, yeah, it's been renewed 6 days ago.
Okay.
Why can I not?
Amazon. Okay, cool. All right, well,
Epix has renewed the contemporary sci-fi horror series From. And it looks like it's the guy from Lost, one of the people from Lost in it. So
Potentially, I
could be
can't really remember because I only watched up to series 3 on Lost.
good. That was when it was good.
Yeah, I stopped watching it right.
That was when you realised after season 3 they've got no fucking idea how they're going to end this, do they?
It's possible you might be able to watch it on Channel 5, maybe.
Gareth,
Okay.
sail the fucking high seas, or just get me to do it.
Have a little
Okay.
look. Watch a couple of episodes, 2, maybe 3. Do your 3-episode thingy, and see what you think. You may or may not like it.
Yeah. I think it's Paramount, not thingy. No,
Epics.
I've not seen Nope.
No.
I've not seen Nope. It's done by Jordan Peele, and I find him a little racist for my liking. Everything he does is no.
The thing is, I kind of liked Jordan and Peele, the comedy series. Some of those sketches were pretty good. Although it's what's his face that was better. What would he do? The Obama's anger interpreter was just those sketches were amazingly funny. But yeah,
Go find some episodes of Not 9 O'Clock News.
Oh yeah, I know that.
If you want to watch something funny, they're fucking hilarious. I watched cut 2 the other day. I was falling around the floor laughing, because we used to write comedy back in the day. But yes,
there you go.
Okay. So no, the plus it's a horror film at the cinema. Trying to get someone to go out and watch a horror film with you at the cinema. The only horror film I managed to get anyone to see was Alien Covenant, Alien the special edition. And that was a midnight showing for the special edition, which was quite cool. Just longer. Anyway, are we all done?
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your holiday. I think you're a bastard for going to NASA, and I'm extremely jealous of you. Even if you did see I know. Well, yeah, but he saw the SLS on the pad, although it's not meant to be on the pad anymore. NASA, fucking sort it out.
They keep finding
But,
leaks.
Do you know why? Because the Apollo mission was named after a man, and the Artemis mission is fill in the gap. She's taking a bloody time, isn't she?
But before, I mean, I tell you what is so. They've got fucking camera angles everywhere of this, right? This rocket just before we go, and before they scrubbed yesterday's launch, they had a camera at the bottom of it, and they were obviously testing the gimbaling of the engines. It was fascinating seeing how much they pitch, and they had them doing all of this, and they were really going. It's quite incredible. I just wish the damn thing would get off the ground.
Yeah.
Well, I think they probably share your sentiments, Keith.
Well, it's scrubbed until October now because they're going to have to wheel it back again.
Do you know how long it takes them to fucking wheel it?
2 days?
A day. Is it a day? Or
2 weeks. Because you've got to get it onto the loader, move it, get it off the loader. It's like a week, because depending where that little the travel thing is that we saw. Remember, we went to Kennedy Space Center, and they've got the I can't remember what they call it now. The roamer. Yeah. It goes so fucking slow.
It does. Yeah. I mean, they spend all this money on sorting the rocket and getting that. One of the things that they should sort is the transport of the rocket to make it a little bit quicker.
Uncouple that stuff. I can see Orion being strapped to a Falcon Heavy by the way it's going at the moment. Artemis 3, Artemis 4, it might be a Falcon Heavy, not the SLS, because it's a massive waste of money. There is a Chinese space race about to happen. SLS, when fucking SpaceX is chucking a fucking rocket up every fucking week, right? 2 this week. Right.
I'm just expecting Elon to announce that they're going to do it, and the rocket's name is Elongate.
No, that's when he'll get involved gets involved in
a scandal,
politics, and some scandal pops up. It'll be Elongate.
Yep.
Did you where you were? Did you? I take it you couldn't see the launch whilst you were there? Because there was a launch a few days before.
No, we
You
weren't
went-
there in time for the launch. We could see they had all the mock-up vehicles inside the museum. So they had the pod, they had the Boeing, because it's the Boeing pod thing that's attached.
No, there
to
was
the
a
SLS.
Starlink. There was a Starlink off pad 35.
No,
like,
I'm talking,
while
just talking
you
about the
were there.
SLS, yeah. So
Oh,
the
right,
SLS
yeah.
had the Boeing pod on it, and that
Yes,
thing, it fits it's like the family model. I don't know why they didn't build them sooner, because you look at the regular NASA pods, yeah, and they're like fits 2 or 3 at a push, yeah, and this one is like fits 8 quite comfortably, and you can put the shopping in it. And it's really weird to the way that you kind of when you view these things, and they've got some great kind of like bits in the NASA bit.
I mean, the Booster 7 this week, they did a test fire of 3 of the 32 bloody engines the damn thing's got, 1 on each ring. That was interesting. So I can't wait for Elon's launch, but at this rate, he's going to get it off the ground before NASA, because when that SLS goes up, it'll be the most powerful rocket ever launched for all of about 5 minutes until Elon's Starship gets going, and that's just going to blow the fucking thing out the water. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm a space geek, sorry, and Gareth was at my Mecca. You bastard. And he's wearing a NASA t-shirt, you bastard. And you saw SLS,
I didn't get a
you
NASA
bastard.
hat. I should have got a NASA hat. I regret not buying a NASA hat when I was in the store.
You man.
I would have picked it up and I went, I don't need it. I thought, and then the other part of me was, there was a NASA store at the airport last time I was there. It's not fucking there now, which really annoyed me because I was going to buy one on the way home.
So it's like when you were posting, Tanif was posting on Facebook, and Len was going, "Oh, look, Disney's amazing space." Yeah, it's all right, Disneyland, you know. And then suddenly I went, "Bastard!" and that was what I went. He's a fucking NASA. And she goes, "Now you're excited? He's at NASA."
I tell you one thing. I watched Nigel's seen this too, the Apollo 8 launch thing where they take you through everything that went on. I found myself getting emotional. But in some reason in my head, I was watching that thinking they might not make it. They've already fucking made it, Gareth. It was fucking back in the 60s. But in my head, it was like they might not make it. And then when they did make it, I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. I don't know why. I just had a momentary... I just left my... Because I was there. Yeah. Because I was there, and it was the original Capcom or whatever they call it, the control room for it, and it's an achievement. It's a massive fucking achievement. Yeah, I don't think I'd feel so excited when they put the first computer together, or when they first networked computers together. Maybe when the first nuclear bomb went off, but outside that, yeah, it was. I found it a little emotional.
I was really excited to see this launch, and I'm gutted it hasn't in many ways. But hopefully, if they're taking it back and they're going to fix it all, and it'll go up in October, it will be something to witness. But
turns out someone's drawn a penis on it, so when it launches,
it's a brilliant time to be it's a brilliant time to be a space geek. And you got to thank the Chinese, because they're the ones that are driving this, and I don't care who gets to Mars as long as somebody does.
Do you want to know something funny? I've not seen the Chinese in space whatsoever. They've shown lots of like CGI stuff, but nothing of them in space. So I'm a little fucking suspicious.
But it's driving it. So you know,
who was right? Keith, check your space knowledge. Who's the first American in space?
John Shepard, not John. What's his face? Alan Shepard. Alan Shepard.
Yeah. Do you know what? I looked. Have you seen the size of the rocket they launched into space with?
Yeah, it was tiny. It was the
tiny. What they did is they went, "Hey, we've got a nuclear ballistic missile, yeah, and what we're going to do is we're going to strap you to the front of it and just fire you into the sky." And I'm like, "That's a balls."
Gemini, right?
Pardon?
Gemini, Liberty 7.
I can't remember what it is. I think it's Liberty. I'm sure it was Liberty.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it's Gemini or not. But yeah, it was cool. I had fun. I wish I'd have stayed there a bit longer, but we're kind of hanging from the previous day. We did so much.
The comparison picture of Dexter though, 60s. That was great. When under the rocket, under the first stage of Saturn V. That was brilliant.
Oh, what, when he was little, when he first went?
Yeah, great pitch. I'm so fucking jealous. Anyway, I've shut up. Nigel needs to go. So it's been great to be back. Well, I'm assuming we'll be back next week. So now that we're all off our various holidays, and Nigel needs another one. I probably need another one by the end of this week. I'd
just like to point out, that's me breaking the score on Buzz Lightyear.
Was that one shot?
No, that was 11 shots. I did that in 11 shots. I broke it because I figured something out, and I'm not telling anyone. My wife, I think, has figured it out, but everyone else can just figure it out themselves.
I kind of have to go as well because I got a little doggy who's shitting herself quite literally at the moment because of the rain outside, and she's farting a lot. So I need to go and get some fresh air. So because this room smells of dog farts. So I will. Great, glad you had a good holiday, mate. And Nigel, I will take my assignment with honor, and I will download a few episodes tomorrow.
Yes,
sounds good.
Okay,
All right, you guys.
All right, catch you later. Bye bye.